What else do you want to ask Santa for a little push with? I'm becoming the person who always welcomes miracles into my daily life. I'm becoming the kind of person who speaks up for myself. Now, are you worried that none of this will happen? If your answer is yes, then honestly, what I would advise you to do is maybe not do this, because this is supposed to be the fun of manifestation. And so if you feel as though, well, what if this list doesn't come true? Then what I'm going to ask you to do is do a little more of your shadow work. Let's work on the healing side for you, because that tells me that if doing something that's supposed to be fun actually brings up feelings of anxiety or worry or concern for you, then we got to backtrack a little bit for you, and that's okay. If you're feeling like, I don't know if I'm ready to do something like this, I know this is supposed to be fun, but it makes me just feel anxious, then that's okay to not do it. That's okay. Because what I want you to do instead is I still want you to write out that wish list, but now you're going to write it to yourself. Dear highest self, this is what I want for myself. This is the kind of person I want to become. This is what I want to experience. This is what I want to receive in the material side of things. And just make it out to yourself only, because I still want you to be able to participate. But for those of you who have decided to write this beautiful letter out to Santa Claus, and maybe you wrote it in red and green, maybe you wrote it in silver ink, gold ink, maybe you got real fancy with it. I hope so. Those of you who know how to draw, maybe you made your letter extra beautiful. Shout out to you. I wish I knew how to do stuff like that. At the end, want you to, of course, to thank Santa Claus for carrying out these wishes for you and to help you reach these goals, etc. And then end it like you always would. And if you want to be witchy and put in, so it is, I say, you can. Or you could just put, with love, your name, new moon. Okay. And from there, what happens? What do I do with this letter now? Well, you have a few options. One, you can fold it towards yourself. You know how to do this, just like you would a petition. And if you have an altar, put it on your altar. Come back to it by next Christmas or next winter. Winter is December the 21st. Of course, Christmas is December 25th. That's allegedly when Santa's out and about. This is why I said December 25th, by the way. It has nothing to do, one more time, with Christianity. Okay, so I want you to know the following. Let's say that you want to actually mail out this letter. You can, by sending it to the following. And yes, this is an actual address. I looked this up for you. The first address is, of course, addressed to Santa Claus, 123 Elf Road, North Pole, and the zip code is 88888. Okay? Or Santa Claus, P.O. Box 1, Santa Claus, Indiana, 47579. And yes, I will make sure that those two addresses are in the show notes. Digitally, for those of you who decided that, you know what, I just had to do this the digital way. Let me find the website for you. Hold on just a second, because I had it on here. 1 second. One moment, new moons. Let me look this up for you. So if you have decided that you don't want to physically write out a letter, but you want to send out your letter to Santa online, you can do so at lettersanta.com, northpole.com, or santaclausvillage.info. Okay. And I will remember also to put these links in the show notes for you. Again, my team is off for the rest of the year. They of course have offered to help, but I don't want them to have to, because as Lua Nova grows, likely we will not be able to take whole months off anymore. But for the time being, I'm letting them do that, especially because they do work on other podcasts. So I know they have a lot going on to begin with. But if I forget to put this in the show notes, I'm sorry. I'm going to try my hardest to remember, but if you have ever recorded a show, there's so much that goes into it that for whatever reason, the show notes always get lost in the shuffle. But there are 3 websites and, of course, 2 mailing addresses. But let's say that you want to keep it. I did go over, of course, if you have an altar, you can leave it on your altar, but I'm going to give you some more options that I typed out, but I didn't write down here. You can also, let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to find my notes. Look up when is the next new moon in December. You can leave it out then because the new moon is the perfect time to manifest. You can also use the full moon. I'm never against that. You can, of course, burn it in a safe space. For instance, if you have a cauldron of any sort or something that is fire safe to burn it in, you can do that. And that would be considered like an offering, okay? Burn it in a fire safe bowl. And as it burns, you can even say, you know, for instance, my wishes rise and take form, I say, you know what I mean? But other things you can do is if you have a manifestation journal, which I'm sure the majority of you do, you can put it in there so that you never have to send it at all. You can seal it in an envelope and never actually send it. But, you know, again, maybe keep it on your altar in your manifestation journal. And another thing you can do is carry it around with you and start all over again next winter, you know, or next December, depending on when you want to start this ritual. I recommend at the beginning of December. That's why this episode is airing on the day that it's airing, but it's up to you. You know, it's up to you to decide how you want to keep this, how you want to dispose of it. Now, disposing of it, oftentimes I get asked, well, how do you dispose, for instance, of petition paper? It's going to be the same thing. You can burn and release. You can throw it away intentionally. Never throw something away without the intention of like speaking out what it is that you are throwing away. Don't just throw it in the garbage and forget about it. You know what I mean? But sometimes you have to dispose of things. You know, you have to get rid of a spell. You got to put it in the garbage at some point. There are certain things that you should not just be leaving out into nature. So that's littering. So I understand the need to throw it away, but do so with intention. Okay. And just keep that in mind. I don't recommend burying it. I don't recommend, again, leaving it in the earth whatsoever. If you have a shredder, you can shred it. And now you have confetti. There you go. But things like freezing it kind of go more into the spell side of things, so I won't get too into it, but I will say that there is the option of freezing it and sealing it that way. Keep in mind, this is not a freezer spell. We are sealing the spell, but I'm not going to get into that. All right. And the reason I'm not going to get into it is, like I said before, I do not teach spells on my show anymore. I've taught you cute little spells that even kids could do, but my actual spell work is not something that I teach on the show. There are spells on the Lua Nova Patreon, but it's strictly for Patreon members. Okay. But let me see. I think I've gone over everything as far as, you know, how to dispose of it, how to keep it with you if you want, or how to mail it off, or, if you want to do it online, you can do it online. I recommend mailing it. Why not? Why not? To me, that's something I actually plan to do. To me, that's the most fun side of things. And when was the last time you mailed off anything? Another option that I think of for you is to send it in Christmas card form or winter card form. I keep saying Christmas because that's what these things are called. But go to the store, look at all the holiday cards that they have. Get one that doesn't say Merry Christmas. You know what I do? Anytime that let's say I like a holiday card and it says something about Christmas, I actually will put a sticker, Hello Kitty sticker, right over that part. Don't care, because unfortunately they don't make cards for witches. So I have to improvise. And maybe at some point witches will make their own cards that will become mass produced. And that would be nice so that people like myself can buy them, because I'm certainly not going to make any. I'm going to be honest with you. But maybe I just gave somebody a business idea. Witches like me will buy it. But there you go, new moons. That concludes sending your letter to Santa. Now I know that seemed the easiest thing ever, but this is about the intention. This is supposed to be fun. And before I wrap up this part of the show and jump into your, why was I going to say listener letters? We don't do listener letters over here, but we do have Court of the New Moon, which I am going to discuss in a minute. But first, I want to give a shout out to Elise, who is located in New York. And Elise asked me if I could give an update. She is a new listener who has started from season 1. And she asked if I could give an update regarding Carol G and Fade. And since I have an episode on them back in season 1, I believe.